right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 3 of the Professional Yappers Sports Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Davion, joined as always by BWO Shot, Bronny, and Raheem. We've got so much to talk about this week. There's so much going on. I finally got some baseball news to talk about, which I'm excited about, but I'm going to let Bronny go run down with you guys.
we may or may not put the baseball news at the end of the agenda here, but there's
a reason for that.
There's so much to talk about. So much happened in the world of WWE. A lot happened in the NBA. The NHL All-Star Game happened. Blue Jay stuff happened. It was a crazy time to be a sports fan this week. So let's start off with the biggest thing that happened for all my wrestling nerds, and that was The Rock and Cody Rhodes.
The hottest topic to talk about over the last 4 days has been this. So, as you probably already know by now, Cody Rhodes did win the Royal Rumble. And
congrats to him.
He pointed.
Yeah.
He pointed.
I
want Roman.
That night, he points to Roman Reigns. He says, I want Roman. I want you at WrestleMania. Pretty cut and dry. We know what's going to happen. So, fast forward to Monday. Seth Rollins comes out while Cody seems to have made his choice and says, hey, pick me. And he's being one. He does something that nobody wanted to see. So then Cody's like, all right, hold on. I'll wait till Friday. I'll be at SmackDown. I'll make my decision. They advertise that his decision's coming on Friday. He says to Roman Reigns, and I'm going to try to quote it as best as I can remember. I want you and I want that title, but not at WrestleMania. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And then The Rock's music hit. So The Rock comes out, Cody and The Rock handshake and hug, and then Cody just leaves. You can see the look on his face that day. He was not looking happy. Now we waited till Raw to see how they were going to play this out, and they're pretty much prolonging it. They're buying into the fact because over the weekend, the amount of online backlash that started Friday night and prolonged literally up until now. It is one of the trending topics that it has been trending on Twitter, I think, for 4 consecutive, which is insanity. It was the number 1 trend on Saturday, which I thought was crazy. People want Cody. People want Cody to finish a story. They want him in the main event. They don't really care how it gets there, but they know what they want, and it's Cody versus Roman. And people have turned on Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which I've been watching wrestling my whole life, and ever since he went to Hollywood and he comes back, no one ever turns on the guy.
Not to this degree. Never to this degree. Like, he had like his heel status, but not to this hatred.
In 2003 he did. In 2003 that was designed.
Right.
When he came back against Cena, universal acclaim. Everyone loved him. When he came back, every other time that he's come back and made spot appearances, universal acclaim. Everybody loves him. People go nuts.
Right.
This was the first time that I can remember since probably 2003 that I heard the fans audibly chanting Rocky sucks. Which is a big deal. And apparently it was a big deal at WWE. Because they were completely shocked and surprised by this whole thing. Which I'm shocked they were shocked, because I could have saw that coming based on how things went down online. But it looks like WWE's gonna pivot.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with this whole argument, and I'll let you guys chime in a second, but people want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. This is a match that has been set in stone by the wrestling gods since the beginning of wrestling. Like, this was gonna happen. It's a Samoan dynasty. The Rock is a part of it. Roman's a part of it. They're literally blood relatives. They're cousins. Roman has been on this trajectory. He's gotten to the level of The Rock. I will not hesitate in saying that whatsoever. He is there.
I agree with you. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually.
Yeah. In wrestling terms, he is at that level.
Yeah.
But now, they spent the last 2.5 years building Cody Rhodes as the face of the company.
Yep.
He's the guy that everybody's invested in. People bought into the fact that he came back for one reason, which was to win a title and win the title. Not just, he's not going to win, the Intercontinental title and be happy, because he's done that before. He's come back to do the one thing he hasn't done before. They spent the last 2.5 years building it, and now they're just like, hey, The Rock's here. So why don't we just do that, and we'll push Cody aside. People will wait. people don't want to wait anymore.
Who
We saw that this weekend.
Who is they?
The Patriots.
No. The fans don't want to wait anymore. The fans are done waiting. The Patriots are probably done waiting too. They suck since Brady walked out of there. Fans, I think everybody's got it locked in their mind that to have a big like company changing match, it has to be at WrestleMania because it's the most amount of eyes that they get every year, and it has to be with the guys that deserve it. And I think part of the thing is this kind of like it goes down this rabbit hole of let's try to fill in the blanks with information that we don't have. And so it's like we know The Rock is now a board member of TKO, so he is one of the figureheads of the company. And did he politic for this? Did he pretty much force them to do this? We don't know.
No, rumor is that, but yeah.
Exactly. Rumor is he did that. But rumors have been rumors. You know what I mean? Rumor is that, so-and-so wrestlers coming back, they're still not back. These kind of, that's wrestling journalism in a nutshell. It's a farce. Even people who are quote-unquote reputable get things wrong all the time. And it's because plans change.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in other sports. I mean, it does, but not to this extent. Like, in other sports, I would say it's a 90%, like, they're usually right. In wrestling, it's a 50-50 crapshoot.
You're right. And here's the thing. You keep calling it sports when it's really sport entertainment. And the big thing about the entertainment factor is the mystique of what's the storyline going to be. And, speaking as not as a hardcore fan, but a former hardcore fan going back into the fandom. And I love to see The Rock. He's my favorite. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. But I'm so encompassed with the Cody Rhodes story for the past 2.5 years since he returned that I need to see him finish the story at this Mania. It just makes the most sense because he followed the Cena route after losing last year and fought his way back, won the Rumble convincingly too. He wasn't number 30. He was number 15 this year. Won it convincingly. And first thing he did was point to Roman. And then all of a sudden, now that The Rock is a board member, or whatever happened behind the scenes, they want to pivot plans and use the injury as an excuse and use the Vince story as a reason why they want The Rock there. That just doesn't make sense to me.
There are so many other dominoes around this that have fallen that it's really hard to pinpoint what the reasoning is for kind of shoehorning The Rock in. The Rock's always said he's a long-term story guy. Like, he wants to build out a long-term story.
Yep.
He came back in February, and he has until April, in the beginning of April, to build this story. That doesn't seem that long for him.
Not even. He has until... Yeah, actually, sorry, you're right. Beginning of April. First week of April.
Yeah. So, really, he is just under 2 months.
He has exactly 60 days of today.
The Rock versus John Cena took a year to build. The Rock wasn't there for 6 months because he was shooting one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Right.
So Cena had to do it. Cena had to keep that feud fresh. And they had other characters that were in there. And that's ironically how CM Punk got over. And part of the reason that he got over, I should say.
And correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of that The Rock promo during that time was off air. Like, outside of the arena, because he was shooting the Fast series, right? So that can't happen in this 2 months.
They were always at his house via satellite, and it seemed like they had just pre-recorded a bunch of stuff one day,
100%,
and sparsed it out over 3 weeks.
100%. Yeah, 2 months for two part-time Samoan wrestlers is not gonna cut it. Like that.
Why do you have to say Samoan? Why can't it just be normal wrestlers?
Well,
Samoans are a big deal in wrestling.
You thought you had one there, didn't you?
I did.
I did.
Why?
No, but okay. Samoans have been a part of wrestling since the beginning of time, and especially within WWE, they've been a massive part of wrestlers that get over or have been integral to people getting over. The Rock and Roman Reigns are the biggest superstars out of that, but I mean, we've got the Usos, who are the sons of Rikishi, Solo Sikoa, another son of Rikishi. Umaga's son is in the business. There are cousins that have fathers that were wrestlers outside of WWE. There are guys that are related to the family marriage that are in like New Japan, and in AEW and everywhere, really. Like, they are integral to it. They're more integral in my mind than the McMahon family because they actually go in and do the work. So it's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal that you have stars of massive proportions and you want to see those two clash. It doesn't necessarily matter who wins, I think.
I mean,
it does. Roman
yeah,
should be winning.
Roman should win it. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's against The Rock, you should be winning. But the point is that to have two stars that are family members on opposing sides, they don't really do that often. And like even brother versus brother, they don't do that stuff that often or that well. I mean, we saw the Matt versus Jeff at WrestleMania 25, which was terrible. Yeah, this doesn't happen that often. But I mean, we also got to factor in what is going on in WWE and around in that universe right now. The Vince McMahon stuff is not good, and it is somewhat tied to this because some people seem to think that they just made this up to divert headlines from that into this.
Impossible.
So I don't think they made up this story with The Rock and Cody and Roman. I do think there was some politicking involved because he's a new board member. He's friends with Ari Emanuel, who's the CEO. He definitely did something. He had to have done something.
Yeah.
What that something was, I don't know. And we're never probably going to know unless somebody opens their mouth about it.
Never.
There's that. No. There's also the CM Punk being injured thing. That is pretty massive because that was the night one main event.
Yeah. Well, supposed, but yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of dominoes that fell, and this is the penultimate thing of what's happening now. This is what's happening right now. So I don't know. I know where I sit on the fence. Ronnie, I think you know where you sit on the fence.
Yeah.
We have been going back and forth
Team
with
Cody,
one of our friends, about this whole thing, and they are on a different side of the fence completely, and just having a conversation with some people about it is hard.
And it's not like it's like most of social media is on Cody's side. I think we kind of have the same sense, but I will see tweets and posts about why are we complaining that it's The Rock when The Rock is such a generational talent. Yes, that's true, but there's a time and place for everything. And I heard an argument saying that Cody doesn't need to finish it at Mania. That's not true. He has to finish the story at Mania. That's like it won't work anywhere else. It won't have the same impact if it's done at SummerSlam, done at Money in the Bank for all we care, right? Like, it has to be done either this Mania, and if not, it has to be done at 41. Because if Cody doesn't fight this Mania and Rock loses to Roman's going to retain that all the way past September 2024 and shatter another record, and then lose it to wherever Mania is next year. And I would hate for that to happen because we bought tickets for Mania this year, hoping to see Cody win it. I think that was one of the biggest reasons why we bought it. We want to see Cody finish the story, so we're driving all the way out to Philly to watch it. And I love The Rock. I'll pop when Rock shows up.
I do too.
But
I do too.
I need to see Cody finish the story, man.
It's a bucket list thing for us. Like, we've always wanted to see The Rock. I've always wanted to see Austin, hence the shirt. These are guys that were huge when we were kids. So I'm excited to see The Rock, but I don't want to see him this way. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him this way. I'd rather see him. I mean, I'm going to take what I get because I ultimately can't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. But I want the story to be built. I want there to be layers to it. That's what made the Bloodline stuff so good. That's what made the Sammy turn when it happened this time last year so good. That's what drove us literally to Montreal.
Yep.
Was to see that.
Yep.
We wanted to be there. It's the same thing now. We bought tickets before we even knew that The Rock was even in the equation to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, we're excited, but we want to see other things. So that's kind of how this whole thing played out. This is we're talking about this for almost 15 minutes. That's just how it is.
And
there's so much to talk about.
And there's still 2 more months away to Mania. We're on the road to WrestleMania, so things can change. There's gonna be a press conference this Thursday. So let's see what happens to see if this still stays the same or if anything changes. Maybe Cody does his best. What's his name?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan impression and just changes everything. That'd be sick. I personally don't want a triple threat, but we'll see what happens later on in the press conference. But let's change gears here and let's discuss a lot of NBA because, oh my goodness gracious, we are a week away, or sorry, we're 2 weeks away from the All-Star stuff, and a lot of things have happened. The biggest thing that happened was Scotty Barnes was named an All-Star injury replacement. And so was Trae Young, and I messaged Raheem about this, and he was ecstatic. He was so happy. He was like, "I'm so proud of my Scotty Barnes and my Toronto Raptors, man. Look how much they've grown." And I just
see the excitement.
I was like, I just can't wait. I can't wait to watch the game and buy a jersey. And I was like, "Yo, say man, I can't believe you're that much of a big Raptors fan."
So I hope the camera can see this. Oh, hold on. Literally said, oh, not there. But I said, not talking about that bozo.
So that's rude. But I will say that it was a surprise that Scotty made it. Not because of like the stats. It's just that as a team we've been doing poorly, and I think a lot of people expected Boston to get a third All-Star, which was Derek White, which I thought would have been ridiculous. So I'm happy Scotty made it. There was a stat that I read. There were 7 players in the league that averaged 20 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds and 5 assists. 6 of those 7s were made to the All-Star team. Scotty wasn't, but that just changed, thankfully. So that's good. That's huge. This is his 3rd year in the league. That's a big step up for Scotty. You know.
Also, shout out to Trae.
That was, and I had that on my list. Trae not making it originally was a big snub. He should have made it. Second in the league in assists per game is insane. Yeah. I get it. His team's not doing that well, but like, come on, dude, like. He's putting up the numbers, and he has DeJounte Murray on his team.
The NBA doesn't have the rule where every team has an All-Star?
No, it's just 15 players per conference. That's it. So ethical.
Sure.
So that's cool. But sadly, like the reason why Scotty and Trae made it was because Julius Randle got injured, but more importantly, and not to discredit Randle's injury, not to make it less serious, but Embiid got injured. Meniscus.
Yeah,
he's out for 4 weeks, and that's a huge deal. That has so many implications. I think Philly was 3rd in the East, and now apparently, according to Charles Barkley, they are a lottery team. What do you think about that?
That's insane. I don't think they're a lottery team. That's insane.
Now here's the thing. When I mentioned that to you earlier, I said they also have another. I said they're not a lottery team because they have another max player. Who do you remember who that max player is?
Maxey.
Nope.
Oh no, you said Tobias Harris, which made me very upset.
He's a max player though.
Yeah, it made me very upset. When you think of max player, you think of Tyrese Maxey. Like he's
who's still on a rookie contract, by the way.
Still on a rookie contract, but he's tough. Yep. I don't think of Tobias Harris when I think of a number 1 option. Like I was gonna say what I was gonna say. Oh god.
Okay. I think you were about to reference Siakam there, which would make me really angry.
No. I was gonna say something.
Very good.
But yeah, Tobias Harris. No, I saw a tweet. I have to remember it. This was there's like a spectrum of basketball players. You can either be Tony Snell horrible or Tobias Harris horrible, and Tobias Harris was on the left side. He was at the end of the spectrum, and then there's somebody in the middle. I think he was Spencer Dinwiddie or something. I don't know, but yeah, lottery team. I don't think so, but they definitely are gonna lose some games.
Tobias Harris averages like 18 plus points per game. How is he on a spectrum of being terrible?
Kid. I literally hate him, and he sucks.
Huh? I mean, he is overpaid. Don't get me wrong, but like he's still a great player for his team. He's just overpaid. He's just overpaid. That's all it is. But he was overpaid at a time where he had to get overpaid because like they had the cap space, the TV, the values went up. Like you had to pay someone. You know, that's like when Mozgov got paid a ridiculous amount of money, right? And Luol Deng at the same time. Exact same thing.
So basically, a robbery.
Oh, jeez.
A robbery.
Okay.
But no, like Tobias Harris, like actually, he needs to like do something else with his life before he really starts to make me mad. But I'm not a Philly fan. I wish the worst on that organization. Don't have anything good in store for them.
Same.
So, I mean, I don't care.
Same.
I don't care.
We actually agree on something.
LeBron goes over there, right?
Nah.
No. That's
nah.
No, but like if it did though.
So
No.
here's, other than like the team, here's the issue with Embiid's injury. Now he won't qualify to be MVP. Which you mean, as a hater, I love it. Thank God. Thank God. I don't want to see him win MVP. It's useless for him because he doesn't do anything with it afterwards. But I feel like that's an issue. Like I didn't really think about it, but then I thought afterwards, if you don't make MVP or All NBA, you lose a massive bonus, and some of these players need it or they want it. That's a lot of money to be missing out on just because you're either sitting out for health reasons or you're actually truly injured. And I'm like, to a degree, I'm like, that's kind of not fair, but I also still understand why the NBA implemented that rule.
Do you guys agree with the rule?
I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence, but
the way that I see it as a non-hardcore fan is that if somebody puts up historic numbers for 55 games and then they have an injury that takes them out for a season, they should still be able to qualify for it because it's something out of their control.
Like Shohei?
Yes, exactly, actually.
are we talking about Tachi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah. So for our audience, Raheem claims that he's a huge baseball fan, so he calls Shohei Ohtani the most
I got his name tatted on my hand.
That's not what that means.
So
He told me that was your preference.
This is the type of thing we have to deal with, which is
Unfortunate.
What do you call him?
Itachi.
Itachi. So he's obviously a huge anime head, and that's where that comes from. So I just wanted, for the uninitiated, that's up. But to that point, if they do something historic, but then they get cut down because of an injury, how is that? I don't think that's fair.
I don't think that's fair either. And I think a lot of the big reason why this became a thing was, remember when Embiid was running for Rookie of the Year and he only played 30 games, but yet he still finished third overall?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of started the conversation as, hey, should we look into the numbers? And then the Kawhi thing in 2019, sitting off every other game.
But that made sense because then he ended up playing just about every game in the playoffs, which was the point.
And then
Agreed.
you have to remember he was coming off of an injury as well.
Also
They were
agreed.
monitoring multiple injuries, so it wasn't good for him to play back to backs. So like again, that makes sense. But like again, he's injured out for 4 weeks. All right. So
I don't like where load management has gone though, because it has gone from managing injuries to I don't want to play certain games against certain teams. I'm sick or I'm hurt.
Or I'm just resting.
So they get fines for that this season. Who got a? Oh, they looked into the Embiid thing the other day when he sat out against against Denver. There was like, there's an investigation going on because now you can't just sit out just because you don't want to.
Yeah. And it was more importantly because he sat off 15 minutes before tip-off without him being on the injury report. And that's pretty ironic because he did play the next game against a bunch of bums and got injured
And hurt himself. Yeah.
So that's
And the last episode, we did criticize him for not playing when he was quote unquote injured, and then he actually went out there. Well, he was hurt because he wasn't 100%. Like if you watch the game, he was moving gingerly the whole time, and then he just ended up hurting himself more. So I guess we apologize to Joel Embiid.
No, that's on him. No, that's on him.
If we're thinking about it, okay, hold on. Let's think about it for a second. The media literally forced him to play that next game. The backlash he got from sitting out the previous game, being hurt, like we don't know if he was hurt or not, but like it seemed he was hurt, and then forcing him to play and injured himself even more. That was not a decision he made.
Yes and no, but that could have been a decision he could have made on his own. He could have said, I don't care what the media says, I'm going to sit out, and then this time do it from the proper channels of going on the injury report, saying I have a strain. Like, that's perfectly fine. I think all of us would have apologized afterwards, knowing, you're injured, fine, sit out these games, that's fine. You're not ducking Jokic. But what happened instead is he let his ego get in his way, said, no, I can do it. Watch, let me prove you guys wrong. Got injured.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel that bad. Like, I feel bad, but not that bad.
You're also a hater.
So. I am, but like a smart hater.
I'm a believer in karma, so I'm gonna just like clear my shit. I mean, my bad. My thing. I'm gonna leave that in. It's fine because I didn't say the actual word. But I'm gonna just say, sorry, Joel Embiid, for going hard on you as somebody who hasn't watched a single Embiid game since I don't know last year. I'm kind of on the fence though. Like with Ronnie because he did end up going out there, try to prove something, and tore his meniscus. So it is what it is.
Again, I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't feel bad. Like I'm like I sympathize, but at the same time, you knew better. Like you're an adult. You can make your own decisions. The franchise doesn't run you. You run the franchise. You can literally walk in there and do whatever you want. He is literally the franchise.
I feel like we have to also put ourselves like in their shoes. The media plays a lot in these guys' everyday life. Everything they do is under a microscope. So like you're trending on Twitter or Instagram or whatever for a particular reason and it's negative, you're gonna be like, oh, I have like negative press or whatever it is. They're gonna try to go out there and you're
not wrong
or whatever.
You're not wrong.
That's where I'm coming from when I see that. It's like we kind of like bullied him into playing injured.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
That's how I see it.
But at the same time, you have to have thick skin. Like him, of all players, should have the thickest skin because he hears it all the time.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what I'm gonna say.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Something we could cover in a future episode is just the media's effect on athletes, because I think this generation is affected 10 times more than the previous one.
Yeah,
I see 6-year-old kids with like hoop mixtapes. That's insane.
That's gonna be my nephew soon. Don't worry. Just watch out. Just watch out. YMCA hoop tape. I got you. A little big-headed superstar. I got you, man. Okay. So let's move on. So tell me how you guys feel about Doc Rivers coaching the East All-Star team. Or sorry,
no comment.
I mean, Team Giannis. Team Giannis.
No comment.
No, you sure?
No comment. I don't want to get into that bum.
I think it's ridiculous that he's allowed to coach that game.
Agreed. I get it though. So what really was supposed to happen is Boston's supposed to coach it, but there's a rule in the NBA where you can't have the same coach back to back, so it goes to the second place, which just happens to be the Bucks.
Why though?
I don't know why.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does not.
An exhibition.
It does not, but I'm thankful for that because that gave Dick Nurse the chance to coach the All-Star game 1 year.
You said Dick Nurse?
I said Nick Nurse.
Okay.
You're thinking of something else?
Drake.
Yeah, but
that will not be covered on today's episode or any episode going forward.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just the politics of the NBA, right? It's just the rules. I'm glad. I don't like Doc Rivers. I'm such a hater of him as well. But I'm glad that he gave the earnings in the ring to Adrian Griffin. What if we find out that Adrian Griffin was like a piece of crap who like did some like malicious crap to someone in his life, and that's why he got fired? Wonder if we'd all feel bad for Adrian Griffin after the fact. That was the rumor. That was the big rumor of why he got fired.
Yeah.
If he ends up being a terrible person, I won't feel bad.
Yeah.
But if he ends up being a subject of a hit piece, then yes, I will feel bad.
That's fair.
And he should get justice for that. But
that's fair.
Doc Rivers should not be coaching this game. He's been categorically one of the worst playoff people I've ever seen. He doesn't deserve this. He's done this before, hasn't he? He's coached an All-Star game?
Oh yeah, several times.
Yeah, so he doesn't need to do this.
So I don't necessarily have a problem with it because I don't like the All-Star games. It doesn't matter who coaches it, to be honest. Like, who cares?
No, you're not wrong about that.
So you're not wrong about that, but it's about the recognition of people who deserve it. Okay. Right? He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't need it. If I were him, I don't know if he can do this. I don't know if it's within his power, but I would have just given it up to somebody else. Go to the third seed, or let me pick somebody that's never done this before.
That's not in his power. But that would have been nice. Yeah. That's not in his power. They should have had the assistant. The assistant coach should have been the head coach.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get fired. I mean, that's what I would have done. LeBron. Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, where is LeBron being traded to?
He's gonna be a Mav. Unfortunately, there's a lot of rumors that he is gone.
Wants to leave?
But yeah, the Lakers front office is just it's like.
So this is what's really happening. LeBron is using this trade scare as a tactic because free agency is coming up.
More money.
Free agency is coming up, and or to get more pieces at the trade deadline. Because it's not the first time something like this has happened. This happened in 2018, and he got more pieces during the trade deadline to lose in the NBA Finals. So this is probably another tactic of his, because like realistically, this is the longest he's been on a team since his rookie contract with the Cavs. Where else is he gonna go as a 41-year-old?
Yeah, that's it. He's a Dallas Maverick.
Yeah, but who are they gonna give up for him?
I don't know.
No. Tim Hardaway has a sizable contract. Luka's on a max rookie. Kyrie
Luka is untouchable.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at numbers.
Okay.
Kyrie is on a max contract, but they're not going to give him up for LeBron. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They want to pair the three of them together, and that's it. That's where all the money goes. The rest of them is just a bunch of no-name European players.
I mean, what Lakers could probably do is just let him go and start the rebuilding process. Start rebuilding around AD. Still got a few more years left in him. Build around him, Austin Reeves. They have like a little young core going on, but they're wasting his years. Like, he's playing phenomenal.
Yeah,
For a 41-year-old, he's playing better than most like players in the league currently.
So should they trade D'Lo too then?
I don't know.
Expiring deal?
I don't know. So D'Lo's been on the trade block for a while now because of his inconsistent play. The last couple of weeks, he has been playing really well, but I don't think that's enough to save him, because I fear that after trade deadline, he's just gonna fall back into that little
100%, which is what happens every year.
spiral. Yeah,
It happens every year.
It's like, if they look at like a pattern, they'll get rid of D'Lo. Like, the fans will be a little bit upset because he has won us games like in the past couple weeks. He has been a big factor, but we have to remember that the fans were literally ripping their heads out every time D'Lo touched the court. That's how bad
They're so fickle. One day they love you, the next day they hate you. They want you on a spike. It's just how it is, and it's sad.
You can never be the good guy in the front office.
No, and
Because
especially
in the front office, you have to play the long game.
in those markets, LA, Miami, New York, it's you don't win unless you're really winning all the time. I hear the biggest go-
You know what's really ironic, though? I find that the Lakers are constructed very much like the Yankees. We'll go into that later, but I just think it's funny because their fan bases are reacting the exact same.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out big money, try to get the big names, don't win it, try it again. There's never a true rebuild. And apparently the biggest rumor for a D'Lo trade is DeJounte Murray. And I don't know how much that helps, right? Because the market for DeJounte isn't bad. Teams need a point guard, but
they get defense out of DeJounte Murray, but I don't think they get much more off of that. He's not like this high IQ point guard. No, like, I don't even think he's a great 3-point shooter. I'm not. Like,
he's not. He's not. He's a good mid range. He's not a good 3-pointer. Defensively, fantastic. Yeah,
defensively fantastic.
Yeah.
He finishes around the rim pretty well. But again, they don't need that. They need someone who can hit a wide open shot.
That's for sure. Sure.
Someone who can handle the ball when LeBron goes to the bench. Someone who can work the pick and roll with AD. Just like something to take the load off of my Pookie Bear LeBron.
Are we thinking LeBron's actually gonna get traded come this Thursday? No. Just talk, right?
I'll talk 100%.
That's what I'm
I would
thinking
love
too.
to see it.
If he gets traded, I chop my balls off on the next podcast.
You heard it here.
The YouTube censors are gonna love us for that one.
Okay, so moving on. All-Star Weekend is coming up in a few weeks, and one of the biggest headlines is the 3-point competition. It's Steph versus Sabrina, NBA versus WNBA in the 3-point challenge. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't care. What do you guys think?
I think it's great for the WNBA to give them some recognition, because a lot of people, they don't know who Sabrina is. They don't know like what her talents are. They've never watched a WNBA game, so this might give them some insight.
Have you watched the game this year?
No, but I've watched a women's basketball college game this year. I watched what's that girl's name?
Women's college games go hard though. Like those games are so good, like unbelievably good.
What, Caitlin Clark? I watched like 2 of her games. She's tough.
Yeah.
So to introducing them into, like, again, All-Star Weekend is the 3-point contest is one of the most popular contests during the weekend. So having her there might give them some exposure. I'm pretty sure Steph's is slamming that though, but
100%.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's a long-term play for.
I hope it is. Yeah.
I think if this goes over well and they do the ratings and social media goes crazy, God forbid Sabrina even comes close to winning.
She broke records in the WNBA.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
but remember the WNBA 3-point line and the NBA 3-point line are
So
two different things.
yes, and so Sabrina said that she was shooting at the NBA line.
Yep, which
I think she can.
Yeah, but not as consistent as the greatest shooter of all time.
If it's competitive and it's fun and it's actually exciting to watch, it'll be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I found out about this for the wrong reasons, because I saw on Twitter that this was announced, and then I saw the reaction of certain fans, and I'm like, it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I really hope it's not a blowout. That's all I hope for. I hope it's close, it's entertaining, but I hope it's not like Steph's just going out there shooting lights out and she's just shooting out of the arena.
Well, see, a big reason why I'm not intrigued is that I feel like Steph's not really going to try, because he doesn't want to show out in front of Sabrina. He doesn't want to make her look bad, because that marketing won't work. If we destroy Sabrina, no one's going to be going to these Liberty games anymore. Like, who's going to want to care that much?
Talk about a script.
Ha ha! Your boys start shooting it left-handed, start shooting it like Davion. It's gonna be crazy.
Marion, what up?
That's gonna be crazy. Well, let's change gears. That was a lot of NBA talk, but thankfully there was even more sports stuff that happened. Blue Jays finally made some noise, and like, I was underwhelmed by what happened, but let Davion tell you.
The Blue Jays have signed Justin Turner to a 1-year deal. 1 year, $13 million deal with $2 million in incentives, which is those plateaus. Was I underwhelmed at the time? No, but based on what I read this morning, yes, because coupled with this signing, it also looks like the Blue Jays are done for the season, for this offseason when signing players. Which, if you look at the crop of players that we signed Justin Turner, we re-signed Kevin Kiermaier, we signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who apparently is going to start games for us at third base.
Bye-bye, Chapman.
Which, hey, he beat Chapman for a Gold Glove.
True.
At third base.
That's very true.
That is an undeniable fact. But he cannot hit at all. He's not a good hitter. If they, the Blue Jays have this thing with like utility players recently, and for like older baseball fans, you're gonna recognize the name Ben Zobrist. Mm-hmm. He was kind of the guy that that blueprint of player. He'd play a bunch of positions and hit no matter what. Icamp's not that guy. We don't have somebody on the. Kevin Biggio's not that guy. Santiago Espinal is not that guy. We have tried with 3 players, and none of them are working. So, I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, the thing with this team is if you pitch, which they will, you need the hitters to show up. The hitters didn't show up all season last year. All season. And especially in the playoffs. We've been eliminated in 2 straight games the last 2 years. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Like, it's genuinely embarrassing. I don't want to wear my hat anymore, even though I just bought more gear, not recently. But anyways. They need thump. They need like a Jose Bautista. They need a Edwin Encarnacion. I know that sounds like a fan living in the past, but
you're not wrong though. That's the thing. You're spot on. That's exactly the type of stuff we need.
We need 30 home runs and 100 RBIs.
I need that feeling of the 2021 Jays as well. Well, we didn't make it, but whoa, yeah.
Look at that team. Bo Bichette over 20 home runs. Vladdy, MVP season. Lourdes Gurriel coming off the bench and hitting the best he's ever hit. Yep. Teoscar Hernandez, his breakout season, really.
Yep.
Danny Jansen, Danny Bonds, dude hitting everything, complete nukes when he was on the field. Alejandro Kirk, all-star. Look at all these players. We had Robbie Ray, and then the rest of the pitching was literally scrapped together by masking tape. Mm-hmm. And we still almost made it. Imagine if we had last year's pitching with that offense, what we would have done.
Unreal.
World Series.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah.
I know you say that as a joke,
No, I'm not joking. I'm a huge baseball guy.
Yeah, of course.
Not joking.
The 2021 Blue Jays, I think everybody kind of forgets about this. The 2021 Blue Jays were the most feared team coming down the stretch because of how much we hit.
Yeah.
We couldn't pitch and we didn't have a bullpen.
Well, we could hit.
The blueprint was right there. It was right there. And I don't know how we decided, okay, we need to cut on offense and get some more pitching in. Our bullpen was fine last year and we could have dealt from that strength.
Yep.
We could still do it now. We have players on the team, and specifically pitching prospects that we have on this team that could go in a deal, and we can get some. I don't know, Jose Ramirez. We've heard that name forever, and Cleveland is losing money on their TV deal. Losing money.
That'd be such a good pickup if you got him.
It's not rocket science, but apparently it is, because we literally can't figure it out. Well, I saw this TikTok where someone was like, what if the AL East had a meeting? The Orioles got Corbin Burns, short up their rotation. Yankees got Juan Soto. That speaks for itself. The Red Sox haven't done anything. We pretended like we did something, but we really didn't. And who am I missing? Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. They're going to win no matter who's on the team. If this is it, and we're not adding, not even via trade, if our offense doesn't get any better, we're screwed. And then Vladdy's going to walk out the door, and Bo's going to walk out the door, and Romano's going to walk out the door, and Gosman's going to leave, and we're going to be stuck in 2018, 2019 again.
Yep.
And that was some of the worst baseball I've ever seen in my life.
I'm so glad I'm not a season seat holder, because I couldn't, my handle can't handle it.
I watch every game. I watch every single game. Even when we're losing 10-0, I watch every game. Because there's always that 1% chance that something could happen. If we get to the point where those two players walk and we don't have anything to show for it, I'm going to have a hard time watching these games.
Yep.
I'm going to have a hard time watching these games this season. Let's be honest.
Sounds like a Toronto thing. That's like a general Toronto thing. The Raptors, the Jays. I mean, the Leafs are doing well. But speaking of the Leafs, like, thankfully, the NHL All-Star Weekend was this weekend. And let me tell you guys, I went there not expecting anything, and it was actually so much fun. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was...
He wears Bass Pro hat.
No. I bought this jersey from there. You know, I bought one of the last ones left there. It's the Austin Matthews one. Cost me a lot of money, I'm not gonna lie. Cost me more than my tickets to go to the game, but whatever. It was cool. It was 3-on-3, 4 different teams, and each team had a celebrity captain. But everyone was cheering for Team Austin because there was 4 Leafs on it. Plus, Justin Bieber was the team captain, and it was fun. I was thinking they weren't gonna try, and it's not like they were like trying their hardest, but they were still trying and like playing, and especially that last game where they actually put pressure. I saw a couple of hits. It was really fun, both games. So the way it works is the 4 teams play against each other, so 2 teams play, then the winners of both goes to the finals, and both of those first 2 teams and those games actually went to a shootout to decide the winner, which was awesome. It was awesome. So I had a lot of fun. The halftime show was garbage, unbelievably garbage. I don't know who that singer was.
Who was it?
Some 20-year-old man, some 20-year-old. Chris knew who it was. Man? No, it was a woman. But
Tate McRae?
Boom. That's who it was. Couldn't tell you who that was. But she's 20. I
only know who she is because I saw her on the news.
Yeah. All her songs sounded the same. It was
like Lil Baby.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Actually, yeah. And it was unbelievably boring, but everything else was great. So I had a good time, and I like to say I went to the NBA All-Star game, and I went to the NHL All-Star game, and then hopefully in 2016 I can go to a FIFA World Cup game, because apparently there's going to be a bunch of games in Toronto and Vancouver. I think 7 in Vancouver, 6 in Toronto, and then the finals is going to be in New Jersey. So we're going.
I have some opinions on that.
What's your opinion?
That should have never happened.
Agreed. Where should it have been?
I not in the United States or in Canada.
No. That's stupid.
No, they don't have the facility to because remember, soccer players are one of the most expensive players, like most expensive athletes in the world.
Yeah.
They don't have the facility to like their pitches compared to in Europe. It's Davion, bleep this out. It's shit. Okay, they're gonna come here and tear their ACLs and have like a
unless
bunch of, like,
they change it from turf to real grass, which apparently is what they're gonna do. And I believe that. I 100% believe that. I think that's one of the requirements that FIFA had when Canada and North America was making their bid. So I'm not worried about that. I thought it was funny that they chose New Jersey over SoFi Stadium and Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was funny.
And what happens if when like Messi comes with the Argentina team to the World Cup and a crackhead chases him down Bloor Street? Like what is that?
You act like that can't happen in Brazil.
I know, no, but I can't stop. I can't protect.
Is it because your knees aren't working? Is it because your knees aren't working? Because you're so busy being on them?
Like it's just like whoa, wah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it being here. I'm getting tickets to go though. My grandma already set it up for me. But yeah,
whole New Jersey thing. I just don't think that's the most.
I'm gonna blow New Jersey up.
I mean, I'm glad because like it's not far from me. So me like away, me, Chris, Brandon, Roche, like we're going. You know, we're gonna go there because we're all TFC season seat holders. We're just gonna go there. Oh yeah, bet I'll fly.
You're a TFC ticket season holder.
Bro, I've been a season seat holder for like 10 years now. I'm not even lying.
You're a loser.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
Well, you're a loser.
I got it. I got that and 905 tickets at the same time because they gave it to us at a discount. But then I got rid of the 905 because they weren't doing anything for us.
Yeah, but TFC season ticket holder,
they don't cost me anything. Chris manages it everything, and we flip everything. I'm a diehard Toronto sports fan. Okay, I'm not you. I like.
That's not something somebody should be saying out loud.
Oh jeez. Either way, it's cool that we will get to experience such a phenomenon like that. Maybe in the future we can see like the Olympics. I don't know. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I think that'd be really cool to check off my sports bucket list. The one thing left that I need to do is a Super Bowl, and hopefully one day I get to do that if prices aren't like $5,000.
Let's go to the Super Bowl on Sunday.
I'm not going to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Last time I checked, I'm not phase swag. Like I can't just get on.
Yeah, like that's ludicrous.
Come on, let's do it.
I'm glad you brought it up. So let's end the podcast on this. What is your final Super Bowl prediction? I don't want to bring this up on our deadline episode. Let's bring it up right now. Final prediction.
The Devils are gonna win.
My GOAT, Patrick Mahomes, is gonna win.
I also think the Chiefs are gonna win. I think it will be a closer game than a lot of fans are expecting because the 49ers has really good defense and somewhat okay offense. I still think the Chiefs are going to pull away with it, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. I would love if I'm wrong.
It's going to look like a Pro Bowl game.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Absolute kitty game.
You clearly don't watch enough football if you think that.
Kitty game out there.
Oh, my God. Raheem, take us away.
Tackle him in real life.
All right, thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to go and follow us on all of our socials, our Instagram, TikTok. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube. We also have our Apple and Spotify podcast coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Now, before I go, we do have a special episode dropping on Friday after the trade deadline, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
See ya.